When the Princess Peach game was announced back in the June Nintendo Direct, I remember it standing out to me, but I also didn't think quite much of it. The trailer was a bit short and gave us only a little bit of an idea of the gameplay. Then, in the next Nintendo Direct, this game stood out as the absolute highlight. Let's take a look at what we now know about Princess Peach Showtime. Are you enjoying the Game Cubicle? If you like what I do and want to see more of it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Maybe if you leave me a good video idea, I'll make it and give you a little shout out. Also, make sure to check out Game Cubicle Live, where I post highlights of my live streams. Okay, back to the content. I want to start by talking about the theming of this game. As per the name, Showtime, this game revolves around the theater. It seems that all of the settings in the game take place on some sort of stage with different set dressings. It is reminiscent of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, which was announced to have an upcoming remake this very same direct. However, in Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, the theater element only existed within the battles and provided some extra mechanics, with the audience filling the star meter based on how well you battled. The theater aspect isn't acknowledged much within the game, other than in tutorials teaching you about the audience and when some bosses break the fourth wall and eat the audience to regain health. Oh, this game was dark at times. The Thousand-Year Door wasn't themed around the theater. That was one aspect of the game, that's true, but the theming does lie in the treasure hunt. I do think Princess Peach Showtime takes inspiration from Thousand-Year Door, and the developers understood that the theater and audience in that game was something memorable about it, and decided to steer into it for this game. I think Peach was a great character to use for the theme of theater. Peach has been getting a lot more attention in Mario lately by having her role as damsel in distress pretty much be shelved, since people like playing as her. A game like this can show us a whole new side of her. Did Peach have a passion for acting? Did she have to give up her dreams in order to be a princess and serve her people? Was she an alto or a soprano? Would her and Daisy compete for roles, and when Peach got the role, Daisy would be like, "You only got that part because you're a princess." And Peach would be like, but we're both princesses." So many unanswered questions. There are only two established Mario characters in the trailer, Peach and Toad. Will there be more? I can't tell if they're trying to do a separate Peach series with this that exists with its own characters, sort of like Wario, or if this is more like the Yoshi series, where Yoshi does star in his own games, but they've got the same cast of enemies like Koopa Troopas and Shy Guys. I think either choice is okay on the developer's part. It's certainly a tricky decision. I can already tell that there are some interesting new characters, both villainous and friendly alike. I think that I would like to see some legacy Mario enemies mixed in with these enemies as well. These old enemies could have a revamped look with their own theater costumes. I think we can find a good balance of embracing the past and introducing new characters. We have only seen two enemies so far, these little mask guys and these crows. I'm not even sure if the crows are actually enemies, they might just carry stuff away. The reason I think it may be unlikely there will be any old enemies in the game is because we have a new villain. Enemies in the Mario universe are semi-consistently Bowser's minions. I don't think it'd be too much of a stretch that this witch could have recruited a Hammer Bro or two. Maybe there are Hammer Bro cell swords. Sell hammers? It even seems like the Toads won't have much of a role in the game either. They are confirmed to be in the game as they accompany Peach to the theater, but these little big nose guys seem to be the Toads of the game. Toads don't appear again after the witch takes over. Maybe Peach has to save the Toads, like in Super Princess Peach. Peach also has a new companion, Stella, which is a great name choice for a game about theater. This is the tried and true video game trope of the little buddy that guides the player through the world. I see a lot of similarities between Stella and Cappy from Mario Odyssey. Now let's talk about the main enemies of the game, these mask guys. So the mask guys go well with the theming of the game. Masks have been associated with theater since the Greeks, so having them be on our villains is a nice touch. From what I've seen, they all wear the same mask, which I hope is not the case in the full game. There's so much potential to make these enemies unique by giving them different masks. The Commedia dell'arte stock characters give Nintendo a bunch of free reign to design character masks that exist within timeless archetypes. Much like Peach, these guys do change outfits. I think that means it's not likely they will be wearing different masks, since if they did, they probably would have changed those with the outfits. I just hope these guys aren't overused in the game. It seems like these are the only minions that Peach fights in the trailer. Maybe they only showed these guys because it's the only enemy they want to reveal right now. Enemy variety is important in a game. I like the design of these mask guys, I just don't want to fight only them for the entire game. The trailer revealed 3 bosses along with the main villain. The first is this plant. The presence of this plant makes me think that piranha plants probably won't be in the game. The second is this kung fu guy. This is the only boss where we saw the exact gameplay tied to it. It seems there are some sort of action commands in this fight. Will this be the case with every boss battle, or only this one? The third boss we saw was this knight dude. You have to fight him in a sort of cage match. I'm not sure how this fight is going to go, but with that cage around, it certainly isn't going to use much platforming. Now let's get to the main villain, the witch. I wonder if this witch wants to destroy the theater itself, or is trying to take it over to do her own evil plays. It says in the trailer that she's stealing shows, so I think it's the second one. I talked a bit in my Mario Wonder analysis about how Bowser has never really had a motivation. It's not a big deal in mainline Mario, but this game is about theater, so it just seems like it should be a little more story-heavy. The essence of theater is that of creativity, so my guess is that the witch represents filling a mold, coloring inside the lines, and upholding the status quo. Or perhaps the witch loves theater, but is just a massive diva and wants to take over so she can cast herself in the lead in every production. If that's the case, could the game over screen show the witch singing on stage with an annoyed audience covering their ears?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I can't pin down exactly what the gameplay is here. I think with the shifting nature of theater, this game will play around with different bits of gameplay depending on where you are. Sort of like what Mario Wonder is doing with the Wonder Seeds, or what Mario Odyssey did with the captures. We can see that there's some variety beyond platforming with this little cake minigame and the aforementioned action commands in this boss battle. It does seem like this is a 3D platformer. Much like Mario 64 or Mario Galaxy, there's a hub world in the theater where you go find the different levels. I don't see any sort of star-like mechanic that ties the game together yet, but considering there is a hub world, I bet there's something like that. My guess is they are either masks or script pages. Maybe the witch literally stole the script of the show and scattered the pages across the world, and you have to get the script pages so that they can do the show. The main gameplay shakeups will be tied to Peach's costumes. These act much like the captures in Mario Odyssey, though I think they will last much longer here, and each level will probably only focus on one costume transformation at a time. I don't think they will use multiple costumes in one level, since the costumes are so distinctly tied to the theme of the level. The costumes we've seen are Sword Fighter Peach, I hope that's not the next Smash character, Detective Peach, Chef Peach, and Kung Fu Peach. The Direct confirmed that these will not be the only costumes in the game, and there's more to come. What I find interesting about these costumes is that they all imply a distinct kind of gameplay. Sword Fighter Peach is your usual dynamic fighting sort of gameplay, as is Kung Fu Peach. But then we get something like Chef Peach. I think the chef outfit is more than just smacking around baddies with a frying pan. I mean, we probably will smack around baddies with a frying pan, how could we not? But it also has this little cake minigame. And then we've got Detective Peach, which seems to give us a sort of mystery vibe to it. I am really a fan of the museum setting, but detective back and forth looking for clues stuff is just not the kind of gameplay that I personally enjoy. I'm probably still traumatized by the amount of back and forth I had to do in Thousand Year Door's Excess Express. All in all, these look amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other costumes they include. A costume I would love to see is Revolutionary Peach, based on a stage around Les Miserables. Could Nintendo give Peach a musket and retain an E for everyone rating? Princess Peach Showtime is an incredibly ambitious Nintendo title. It looks like a completely new kind of game. Princess Peach had a starring role in a game before, in Super Princess Peach, and I thought with the initial reveal that this game was going to be a lot like that one, and that would have been fine. Super Princess Peach was your 2D platformer with the Mario enemies and bosses, with a few Peach-related game mechanics thrown in here or there. This, however, seems to be the start of a completely new series where we reimagine Peach as more than just a princess. I think that might be the reason that Peach isn't even wearing her crown. I am looking forward very much to playing this game. I grew up in the theater, and always wondered what a video game taking place in a theater would look like. Let's see how Nintendo does with that concept when Princess Peach Showtime releases in March of next year. So, those are my thoughts. What did you think of my analysis? Are you excited for this game? Which Peach costumes do you want to see? If you like my content and want to see more of it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps with the algorithm recommending my videos. Also, make sure to check out Game Cubicle Live, where I post highlights of my live streams. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.